We are live.
Hey guys, welcome to another special edition of Keep Loan Sell Arsenal. And Varun will take us through all the wonderful players that Arsenal have, and Manan will take us through all the wonderful players that Madrid want. That's going to be the theme of this section today.
Good, great. So hey everyone. So what we'll do is we'll go through Arsenal's squad, and then we will kind of discuss whether which players we should keep, sell, or loan. Right. So let's start from the keepers. We have Raya. I mean, there's no question about it. Like, definitely a keep. Um, Followed by Raya, we have Kepa, whom we have recently signed. So we have no other option but to keep him.
The
Uh,
most expensive backup in the world.
I mean, no longer the more expensive backup, but yeah. uh, Followed by that, we have a young keeper in the name of Carl Hein. This guy, I feel, is touted to be really, really good. And that's why Arsenal till now have been really inclined to kind of keep hold of him. This guy can technically be a successor to Raya. Now, for his betterment, I mean, for him to improve, I think we can definitely loan him out because I don't see him coming in the first team and playing for the first team in either of the cup competitions if you have just signed Kepa as a backup. So I think this is more of a long-term kind of a player. So in currently for this season at least, or at least the first half of the season, we can definitely loan him out. We'll go to the defenders. Starting with the big one, William Saliba, definitely a keep. Even if Madrid come knocking, I think keep, no matter what the price.
I don't
Uh,
think Madrid's going to come this season, but next season they are going to come for him.
yeah, and hence we are looking for the backup, right, in the form of that Valencia player. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Mosquera.
Mosquera, yes,
Maybe I'll meet him next week.
nice. Followed by Saliba, we have his partner, which is Gabriel. Again, a definite keep, according to me. Um, they have a great partnership, and I think this can only grow stronger from here. So a keep on both of them. As a backup for these two, we have three players, which is Ben White. Again, I feel a keep. Can play as a right center back. Can plays really well as a right back as well. So definitely a definite keep for me. We have we have Kivior, who is a backup for Gabriel. So he's a left center back. So the way Arteta likes to set his team up, he wants a right footer playing as a right centre back. He wants a left footer specifically playing as a left centre back. So you have Gabriel and Kivior as that left centre back position with predominantly left feet. And I think the way he performed when Gabriel was injured in this Champions League games against Madrid and PSG, and even in the later games of Premier League, I think I was really really surprised and pleasantly surprised by the way he played. So definitely keep for me. Um, Followed by that, we have our basically left back and right back, which is Timber and Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly definitely like a Arsenal prodigy, definitely a keep. Timber again is a player who can play both left back and right back. Offers us a great alternative in both the positions, good with both the feet. So I think again a definite keep for me.
Timber
Uh,
can play centre back as well.
Timber can play centre back, but I think his height is the this thing is issue. Arteta prefers like taller, stronger players as centre back, and if you have backup like Kivior and Ben White, then I think he prefers using them as a centre back backup rather than Timber.
Are you
Uh,
happy with Kivior as a backup for Gabriel?
if you would have asked me at the start of last season, I wasn't that happy. And I thought that's why they signed Calafiori because Calafiori is someone like Ben White on the left side, where how Ben White can become a backup for Saliba and play as a right back. Calafiori, I thought, was the same on the left side, where he could play left back also and become a backup for Gabriel. But I feel the way Kivior actually played, as I said, against the likes of Madrid, PSG, and the kind of players that Madrid, PSG have, they can actually kind of run at the centre backs, kind of take, like, really blow like a part-time centre back out of the ocean, kind of a thing, right? And playing against the likes of Mbappe and few of the PSG players that he did, and the way he played, I think it was really, really good. So yeah, full marks to him. And that, for that reason, I feel that, like, he's kind of stepping up. So yeah. Followed by those two players, we have Calafiori, which we already spoke. Again, like a good backup on both left centre back and a left back position. So again, a definite key for me. A lot of potential in this player. We have one player left now, and that is Zinchenko. Now, for Zinchenko, I feel that we can actually sell him, right? Like, given his age and the fact that we have enough protection on the left back now. So left back, there are potentially three players that can play. There's Luis Kelly, there's Timber, and there's Calafiori. Probably we don't need a fourth one. We can save up on his wages as well, and therefore, for me, I think Zinchenko can be an easy decision to sell. Although I don't see any of great offers forthcoming for him. So I think that's the problem part.
What would be a fair price for you to be happy with his sale?
5 million, 7 million, 10 million, 9 million, whatever you can get. I think it's with Zinchenko. I think it's more about getting the wages off. Get
He
whatever.
must be on 120K, if I'm not wrong.
I think more,
Acha.
because we signed both him and Jesus from
Jesus.
Man City, right? And then at that time, these were the two players we really coveted. So I think we would have paid him a slightly higher than 120. I'll have to check though.
But
But yeah.
very interesting that of about 10 players or 11 players that you mentioned, there is just one sell
Which
slash
is
let
sell.
go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Otherwise, the team
And
is so well
and that's what I was
stacked
telling
across.
Manan, right? There are not many cells in the Arsenal squad right now, because the squad is very lean as it is, I feel. So yeah, like, we are finding it. So, like, we have discussed, like, whatever, 11, I think 10 players or something right now.
Three
12,
So
11.
keepers,
three
about 12
keepers
players.
and,
Yeah.
yeah, eight defenders, right? So yeah, so basically we have discussed, yeah, 11 players, but you go to midfield and forward, it becomes even more thinner. So not too many players in the roster. Yeah. Couple of shout outs to the players that have already left, and which I didn't mention before, were Tomiyasu, of course, injury ridden. um, and yeah, I mean, he was a great servant to Arsenal. Whatever he played, again, he was a very versatile player, could play on both the wings. So yeah, we'll miss him. Thank you for, like, doing whatever he did for Arsenal. So yeah, a shout out to him. Um, Going on to the midfielders, um, again, not again in this midfielder section, I'm not going to count the wingers as of now. These are like the midfielder in the midfield three players that play in the midfield three. So
So
starting with
Havertz is going to
Odegaard,
come in this section.
sorry,
Havertz is going to come in this section.
no, Havertz is classified as a striker for Arsenal.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So for midfielders, basically we have Odegaard to start with, the captain. Again, a great leader. I feel leads by example majority of the times. Definitely keep for me. And as I said in our previous team, I think him, Declan Rice, and Zubamendi are going to be like a great partnership according to me. So yeah, definite keep. We have Marino, again, a strong backup to Declan Rice in that inside left position, can play as a backup to Zubamendi as a holding role as well if required. Did a great job filling in as a forward when Havertz got injured last year. A very versatile player. I feel a definite keep for me. Followed by that, we have Declan Rice, of course, a definite keep. And of course, there's Zubamendi, which we have recently signed, so there's no point, of course, like a definite keep in that case. So we have four of these players, and then a couple of shout outs to players who weren't part of the squad last season and who were loaned out last season, which is Fabio Vieira and Lokonga. Now, Lokonga was loaned out last season, which was a good thing. I think it's a sell for me on Lokonga. I think anywhere between 8 to 10 million on Lokonga would be a great price. A player with good potential, but I don't think he will get too many starts for us. So, yeah, I mean, for me, it will be a definite sell. Fabio Vieira as well, I feel in the current situation will be a sell. Um, I mean, we loaned him out last season, but I think that given the caliber of the player, he's not a player that you typically loan out. So I feel Fabio Vieira also we can definitely
But
be a
he
sell.
didn't do anything on his loan, right? Like nothing noteworthy happened.
He was average on his loan. Nothing stand out. But if we are getting a bid of say like 15 million or 20 million, which I think is something that Arsenal are trying for, and if we do that, I feel that we can definitely sell him and use that money and invest in like a forward or a left winger, which we are trying to do. Right. So a sell on Fabio Vieira as well. Also, given that if Fabio Vieira actually plays, the position that he's going to play is either the Declan Rice position, which I think we already have a cover for now in terms of Merino, or it will be an Odegaard position, which I feel that we can move that around where Zubomendi can come into the Odegaard position, Declan Rice can fall back into like a holding place, or we are trying to groom Ethan Enweri as a backup to Saka and Odegaard both, where Saka and him both kind of play. So Saka plays as a right winger, and Ethan plays as a right inside forward. So yeah, so that's kind of a thing, and then slowly we are trying like Carlin Cup games and all of that. I think Max Dowman is going to start playing in that position in the fringe games as well. I feel this season. So I feel given this kind of a caliber of players available, I think Fabio Vieira becomes a like access to the need. So I think we can sell him and use that money elsewhere. So that was the midfield lineup, six players currently, out of which yeah, Fabio Vieira and Lokonga were a sell for me. Coming to the forwards and the wingers, let's start with the main man Saka. Definite keep. There's no two ways about it. This will be followed by Martinelli and Trossard. Now, for me, if we are signing a left winger, right? I feel that one of them is someone that we could let go. Now Martinelli has said that he really wants to stay at the club, and yeah, the ceiling for Martinelli is much higher. Whereas Trossard is a player, according to me, which is kind of demanding a package which I don't think Arsenal are willing to give. He's entering his last season of contract, and there are rumors where teams are interested to sign him for like 15 million odd. So I feel if we are successfully signing a proper starting left winger, then we can kind of let Trossard go, keep Martinelli as a second left winger, and I think that will kind of sort our left wing out. I think two players in that one position is good enough. Um, then after Martinelli and Trossard, we have Nelson. So Nelson was on loan, and I feel it's time to kind of cash out on him and kind of sell him as well. I think we should get around 2 to 5 million, even 7 million if we try hard for him, and then kind of get him off our wage book as well. So yeah, he will be a sell for me, Nelson. Um, Followed that by the two strikers that we have in form of Jesus and Havertz. Now, for me, Havertz has been a great player for Arsenal in his limited capacity that he has, and in the limited time he was injury free. But
You're talking
I,
about Jesus, right?
yeah, Gabriel Jesus, yeah.
You said Havertz.
Sorry.
My eyes popped out. I was like, क्या बोल रहे हैं?
You couldn't believe I was praising Havertz.
Yeah. I was like, the most common theme on
ये
this whole podcast was Varun disliking Havertz since
ये
the past
वरुण की
1 year, and now
ये
he's
वरुण की
praising him.
अंदर की आवाज बाहर आ
No,
गई.
no, I was talking about how I was talking about Jesus.
Then when
So
you said about injuries, I was like, ये Jesus की बात कर रहा है शायद.
I was talking about Jesus. Um, but yeah, I mean, again, like the season that he actually played really well, he did really well for us. I think he was a good signing for us. Even last year, you could see that before he got injured, the few games that he played and he was fully fit, he kind of he was in a great scoring nick.
Yeah.
But I think it's the end of the road for us with Jesus. I think we should kind of move him on. So both him and Zinchenko came in at the same time. Now, kind of both of them having that injury issues and all of those things, and I think fag end of their kind of career at Arsenal. So I think moving on, I don't know what offers we are going to get for him again. Like it's
So
not many clubs
Jesus,
out there
yeah,
will be
Jesus is on
wanting
265K a week.
big wages, and if you can get those wages out, I think it will be a big saving for us in terms of like FFP and all those other things.
I think he'll likely go back to Brazil. No?
Could be,
Saudi,
could be. Saudi could be
Saudi
a good
would
option.
be
The
a
only
good
problem is
convenience.
the injury. The injury concern is the
Yeah.
only problem, and is the only factor which is preventing offers from coming in. On Harvard's, I feel. I mean, backup. Right? You know, we are going for a striker as a backup striker. Fine, keep him. As UV said in the last stream, like, you know, if probably you are 1-0 down or it's like a 1-all or a 2-all in the last 15 minutes, just get him, play him as a second striker, see what happens, kind of a thing. But yeah, clearly, like, we are in need of a striker. We are going for a striker, and which means that Harvards will not be the main striker, like number one striker next season. So I think as a backup, he's decent, and
So
which honestly should have been the case for the past 2 years when we signed him. But
no,
yeah,
so
there
technically,
I
Havertz is not a striker. Havertz has never been a striker anywhere from youth international till now.
he is not worth the starting 11 in any place in any position, according to me, and which I think is the fair thing that's going to happen this season. So yeah, but that's just me and Havertz. So
Mhm.
yeah,
No,
uh,
the problem for Arsenal is going to be that Havertz is on 280K a week.
that's the problem, and that's why
Now,
that signing was such a big issue, right? According to me, and that's
yeah,
why
so
I never
the
liked us signing him in first place.
the problem is that either so one, if let's say you can get him off to Bayern now, especially that Musiala is injured, I think that can be a win-win for both of you. Like because
Hmm.
Bayern are looking at that profile again, and this can be a good move for all parties involved. But if he stays, I
Hmm.
don't see any other club except for Bayern spending that kind of money on Havertz. And if he stays, you don't want someone who's earning 280K to be on the bench, right? It's not gonna be useful for you guys. Like,
I don't think Arteta would think of it from a point of 280 Ks or not 280 Ks. Arteta is not that kind of a manager, according to me. He was benching like Aubameyang and all that when he first came in. So I don't think he is the kind of player who thinks that way. But I think he has a spot for Havertz as well. I feel to some extent, as the previous participant on the previous team was mentioning. Um, but UV, that's a great point. Like I would never say no for selling Havertz. So if that's the case, I would say sell Harvards. You're signing Gyökeres, and then if you're selling Harvards and you're getting
Sesko.
Sesko as well, then that will be amazing. Where Sesko
Honestly, I
can,
think you guys can get Ekitike rather than Sesko then. Because Ekitike can develop as a second striker much better.
I
And he
think the
can play off the
competition for
left too.
Ekatike is much higher than what the competition for Sesko is. I think a lot of clubs are going for Ekatike, right?
Who
Including
else is
Liverpool,
going?
Chelsea. Uh,
Chelsea तो नहीं जाएगा ना अमीर.
I mean, see, again, you never know, right? Like, Chelsea with their 7-year contracts and God knows what all. Like,
Chelsea give short-term contracts compared to Athletic Bilbao.
uh, but but for some reason that's the lure for all the players, right? Like they are like, we have a contract in hand. You never know if we get injured next year or the year
Mhm.
after or the third year. There's a financial security built in that contract, right? And that's why a lot of players kind of are actually preferring these kind of contracts, like over the last couple of seasons. So yeah, uh, yeah. It's last player according to me is Ethan. Again, like a definite stay for me. Um, can play
He's actually
again.
being linked to Chelsea. There is a rumor that Madueke goes to Arsenal and Nwaneri comes to Chelsea,
I don't
and
think
he
that's.
actually gets some money.
I don't think Ethan is leaving. I think the way he is kind of regarded at Arsenal in the within the management and the upper hierarchy, I don't think he is going to leave. And same is the case with Max Dowman. I think both these players are
Mm.
the new upcoming stars of the team. So yeah, keep both of them, and that wraps up the Arsenal keep sell loan. So just to kind of summarize, selling Zinchenko, selling Vieira, selling Lokonga, selling Gabriel Jesus, and if we get a great offer for Havertz, then selling Havertz as well, and Reece Nelson. So yeah, that's the wrap. What do you guys think?
I think
Agreed, disagreed with any of those choices?
I would honestly feel that given Zubimendi, Gyökeres, and possibly Rodrigo coming in, I think the club has given everything to Arteta to now actually go and challenge on all fronts. Like I think on paper, the most balanced side in the Premier League, defensively the best side in the Premier League, and with Rodrigo and Gyökeres, I think this team finally has that killer instinct in terms of scoring goals. So I wouldn't be surprised if with this base, Arsenal can actually, you know, look, let the confirmations come in, especially of Rodrigo, because I think that is still a little away. But Gyökeres is almost over the line. But if all these happen, then I think next 3, 4 years Arsenal can dominate English football because there are no players that you'd want to sell or upgrade, right? It's as simple as that.
Yeah,
So
it's mostly now
essentially,
signing good
yeah,
backups. Like once we sign whatever Broker is, Sesko, and then probably a very good left winger, then it's all about signing good backups for these positions. So yeah,
but it'll be very difficult to see how teams like Chelsea, United actually compete with the likes of Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man City because the kind of squads that you guys have, it's amazing. Like very well balanced and structurally really primed for the Premier League.
yeah. Let's see. Let's hope. You never know. I think injuries also play a key part in all of this. So yeah, fingers crossed. I think the rest of the signings happen as they are planned, and then we have a good season and at least win something next year. So yeah, but that my comment on Maduaki stands. If he is coming to Arsenal, I'm not watching. Dude. Like it's enough. I can't handle
There
another
is there is
flop
there is
Chelsea
a
player
very
playing for Arsenal, dude.
let's see if I have a very good feeling that he will be joining Arsenal. And I have a very good feeling despite that Varun will be watching the games.
No, dude. I hope not. I really hope not. But yeah, let's see. Cool. Manan, any comments?
No, I think
Yeah.
I would agree with uh, what you have positioned each player as in terms of keeping, loaning, or selling. And I guess I would keep Jesus if I had the opportunity for another season and see how it goes with him injury wise. because now he would be a second choice forward, or he can be a very good replacement for Saka as well if he gets injured. So a good backup to have, because there's no other backup to Saka, even with all these newer players coming in. So yeah,
I
other
mean,
than
fair
that,
enough.
yeah.
Fair enough. More than that, he also like is a experienced kind of a leader in the team to have as well, right?
Hmm.
So I mean, again, there are not too many offers coming in for him, and if you are
Yeah.
not going to get too many offers, then of course you will have to keep him, right? So
Hmm.
yeah,
No,
fair
but it's a
enough.
great opportunity to let him go. See,
It is. It
265K
is
off the books, it actually strengthens you a lot over the next 3 seasons, right? Because
correct.
you look at his record as well, he's not going to be playing a lot of games because he's injured most of the time.
I'm afraid that the option will be either letting him go for free versus keeping him on. And if that's the case, I would rather keep him on. But that's what I'm saying. If there's an offer coming even for 10 million for him, I would let him go. But if there's no offer coming, then instead of letting him go for free, I would rather keep him. Because then what happens is that experience matters. And now we have a very good Brazilian core in the team with Martinelli, with Gabriel as a centre back,
Gabriel.
him. So we have a very good Brazilian core in the team, which are which is also important. That team dynamics is also very important, I feel. And then from that point of view, we can just keep him, right? He's a leader of the pitch as well, sets a good example. So yeah, if there are no offers coming, instead of letting him go for free, just keep him. I feel so. Yeah, fair enough. Great. Thanks for watching, everyone. That's a wrap on Arsenal keep, sell, loan. Do let us know what you thought. Subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Okay.